There you go. That is literally the most last minute setup I think we've done before. Rachel's right-handed, not left-handed. And have you got music playing as well?
No, it's just the thing. Although I think there's a bit of a lag.
What are you listening to?
I don't know, what have you set me up on?
I've set you up to fail, have I?
I think you have. Yeah, it sounds like YouTube's playing in the back. There we go, look.
There we go. Wow, okay. Sounds crackling.
Yeah.
I don't know what I could do about that. I apologise. So yeah, we basically just quickly readjusted everything behind here so that Rachel can sit comfortably behind me. So Rachel is here. I told her she can't talk much though because the microphone doesn't really pick her up very well. So let's see what happens. But yeah, this show, and let me see if I can switch this over actually. We have Mike. There we go. Mike is there in spirit, not in image at the moment. And Pink is here as well, aren't you, Pink?
Hello.
Hey, everyone.
So there's the four of us. Right, let's cut this back and we'll see if we can make this less of a train wreck. Okay, so we'll run through the chat, and again, so unprepared. Let me see what we can do about this. Pop out chat. And I'm completely blaming Rachel for this as well.
I gave you like a week's notice.
A week's notice. I said to her, do you want to come on the Hangout on Friday? And she said, yeah, I'll paint my model. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Thinking she's not going to paint a model. And then today she's just reminded me that she does actually want to paint the model.
You keep telling me to paint.
I keep saying, and everybody, like so many of our viewers are saying, Rachel needs to paint, Rachel needs to paint. She's finally doing it for the first time.
And you're complaining.
Oh, everything's disappeared. Wow, this is horrendous. Okay, let's go through who is in the chat. From the beginning, and same as last week, we had Armour Freak and Akaya in first of all. They had the pre-show chat, and I think that's going to be a thing every single week now. We had the Orc Boys, who turned up shortly afterwards. Gary Waddingham, No Prob, Llama. Quite a good name. Welcome. I think that's a new person as well. Blood Company, welcome Blood Company. Thomas Hooper. Won't get to watch, but we'll be painting some Wolfguard Terminators to this tomorrow, so that's good. Kuranis, welcome Kuranis. Roa, Hercusaurus, Ulstination. I didn't manage to watch Ulstination show because we were too busy setting up, so I apologise. But I did watch back at your basing live show the other day, and it's insane how many you did. So, yeah, keep cracking on with that. Like, production line army. It's incredible to watch you batch those out. Graham Rigg, welcome. Sean Jewett, welcome. Art Lovegod. West Side. That's another one. Welcome, West Side. We have West Side saying, who is Rachel? Is she the player from the Grey Knights video? Yes, she is. Armour Freak saying Surreal isn't here yet. No, 2 shows now.
You didn't show last time either.
No, he came last. He was in the last show, but he wasn't in the show before.
Oh.
Stalk 40k saying my speakers are the same. So are we still having? Let me know if we're still having audio issues when I actually get down this chat. Audio issue, not your speakers. So that must be us then.
So we need to make sure you keep it up with the chat. It's important.
Yeah. The Orc Boys are saying yes. West Side, Sam's missus. Yes, Rachel is my wife. It appears the audio is being affected by the war. Dear me. Sound is better apparently. I've changed nothing. I'm going further down now. What kind of magic does a sandwich possess? Sandwich. That nickname's getting spread around. Is Rachel your sister, lover, or co-host? She's not
everything
my
sister.
but sister. She's not my sister, but yeah.
More like
Ashley.
owner.
Owner. She is. Yeah, she is my keeper. Ashley Perkins, welcome. James Jones, welcome. Frank Storm, hello Frank. And the Oak Boys have said, Rachel did say last Friday, so you had a week, Sam. They did. Fell Hate, welcome Fell Hate. I did send some transfers out to you. I don't know if they've arrived yet. And Armour Freak says, quick fire. I think I've caught up. This is good. Seems fine now. Okay, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing with technology and these live streams. I'm learning as I go along, so I apologise. Lucky man to be able to play with your wife. Must be hella fun. It is quite fun. It's also a longer... I mean, Mike...
Careful.
Mike, what do you think about playing against Rachel?
It's quite interesting.
No, it is good.
It's not. The games aren't as long as they used to be, which is a good thing.
Yeah, the sound was popping in the intro music, but great now. Okay, I'll have a look at that then. I'll have to see what was going on. But nothing's changed from last week. I can see Rachel is actually cracking on with this. Are you using that gold colour?
Yeah.
Balthazar gold, is it?
Yeah. It's not quite as coppery as I was hoping for, though, but maybe it'll dry lighter.
They can't hear you, by the way, very well. I don't think anybody will be able to hear you. She's being very careful with that wash, says Ryan. It's she's decided she's going to do a gold for the head. Okay, so Rachel, do you want to show off this model a little bit? This was the one that she created at Warhammer Fest, and she refuses to paint any other miniature. We've got hundreds of miniatures that she could have picked. And you're destroying the microphone with coughing now, are we, as well?
I'm sorry, I've got quite a lot of cough.
Okay, Balthazar got...
I'm sorry.
You've not coughed all night.
Hold on. I'll be back in a sec.
She just decided to die on screen. I don't think that helps. You can make us a cup of tea, please. That'd be amazing. Anyway, so Rachel decided, out of all of the miniatures that we've got in our range, or in all of our miniatures, she basically wanted to use the one that she created out of bits at Warhammer Fest. So that's what this is. It's a creation from bits, and it doesn't even have torso or anything. I had to put some green stuff in there just to hold it together. This can be a triple custard guard, says James Jones. Yeah, and I imagine it will go in a custodian guard army.
It's the very first models that she's ever built as well. Well, I think it's the first and only so far, isn't it?
This is the first and only model she's ever built, and this is the first time she's ever painted. And I bet you she's not even washed her brush. No, so she's just left her brush. Right, check this out. This is the signs of somebody who's just started painting. The paint pot is open.
When she wins that Slayer sword, you are going to look pretty stupid.
And then there's paint all on the brush still. You know when we were at the shop, Mike, and there was like kids coming in to learn to paint and stuff?
Oh yeah.
And you generally had to go over and just tidy up the stations and stuff while they were painting. It's like that, yeah. Rachel is allergic to paint, says Graham Rigg. I think it could be that. Rachel's loud and clear, Sam is quiet. What is going on? 1 second.
Oh, snippety snap. Now I've just... You know I was testing beforehand the audio to see which one was picking up and which one wasn't?
Yeah.
I've just pressed a few buttons. Now this one I should be really loud, and Rachel, you won't be able to hear her at all. Now the reason we can't have both of us on is because we've got a microphone here, and then there's a microphone back there, and if we turn them both on, then it echoes massively. So this is now the Sam microphone, which should be a bit better.
Can we go back to the Rachel microphone?
You can do. I said to Rachel, why don't you just host the entire show? You could sit with the microphone over there, you can paint, you can do everything, and I'll just go and do something. But she insisted on painting and me hosting. Right, that shambles out of the way. So we've got almost 60 people watching.
Sweet.
Topics-wise, what should we talk about tonight?
What do you reckon, Pink?
Do you want to talk about...
It's been a little while since you've been on, hasn't it?
The new GW campaign? People going to be joining in on that?
My problem is time more than anything. I think with the time that I've got, I probably won't be able to join in on this Conor campaign, as cool as it sounds, purely because of limited time. And I think if I'm going to be playing games, there'll be games for battle reports with people, or I'll be filming a battle report for the channel.
I think it'd be worth trying to get in a game or two, even if it's not going to be sort of a commitment for the full run. It'd be quite good. I might try and keep up with the story as well.
What exactly is all the ins and outs for the campaign? Because I don't think I've actually had a good look at it yet.
So the general idea is that Chaos is and Nurgle more specifically is sort of running rampant through the Konar system, and the Imperium has to kind of defend against it so that they can start sort of pushing them back proper.
Mm-hmm.
So in the first game, for instance, if you've got the Imperium keyword, then you're the defender in a very sort of specific mission that they've come up with, and they've given you some like unique stratagems and stuff like that. And the stores are just organising this. So Chris from our local store has just said anyone can bring down a 30, sort of 50 or 60 point sort of power level just to make it a bit easier army and sort of play the mission. And the idea being that if you sort of record an Imperium or a Chaos, or if you're a Xenos player, you can choose whether or not you want your record to go for Chaos or for Imperium. And the idea is basically that it's gonna sort of shape the fluff a bit like what they did with the recent Age of Sigmar campaign.
Okay.
So it sounds quite interesting, and I think what people are just hoping, because obviously they did this with the Black Crusade before, and then they just ended up retconning it because I think they didn't really factor in that Chaos might win so overwhelmingly.
So is this something that's only going to be going on in stores, or is this something you can do at your local clubs and at home as well?
Let me find out. I think you might be able to submit your results online.
Yeah, I think Kablam's just said you can submit a bat rep to your local GW to take part. So that's one way to do it. So we could play a game and use that as a Fate of Konar game. That's one way we could do it.
That would be pretty good.
Yeah. So we definitely
is the campaign going to be running for quite a considerable amount of time?
I think it's supposed to be the summer campaign sort of thing, as I understand it.
So we might be able to do it with some of the battle reports that like we do once with the Chronicles is finished then.
Yeah.
Yeah, my problem is that I don't have an army. So Rachel will have an army to use, but I have nothing yet. But my Primaris need to be built.
You could always use like the Grey Knights or the Custodes or something.
True, yeah. I'm just going to check the chat as well because Stalker40k said, Sam, I've seen that you used AK Interactive paints and washes. Any one of them in particular I could look to get to start with? Wash-wise, my favourite wash that I use for basing is called Summer Curse Girth. And I've just grabbed some bases, I just disappeared. So I'm going to put this under the camera. And if this shows up... hold on. So this is like... it almost stains the base. So all I do is spray the bases with a grey, Mechanica standard grey or a cheap grey from wherever, and then dry brush it a couple of times, and then put some Curse Girth over it, and then remove the excess with some white spirit, and it just stains all of the cork that I use. So I use this for pretty much all of my bases, and then just tidy up the rim afterwards. And they're so quick to do. So I just fill boxes with bases that are finished, and then I have loads and loads available. In terms of washes from AK Interactive, their streaking paints are amazing. So rust streaks, streaking grime, and I think there's 2 or 3 different types of streaking grime as well. Oh, thank you very much, my love. Are you feeling a bit less coffee now?
I think so.
People won't be able to hear you now. I had the wrong microphone turned on. So they could hear you, but they couldn't hear me.
Oh, okay.
Why
does that one not pick up anything?
Not now, no. If I turn them both on, it echoes. Anyway, carry on painting, and I'm going to carry on talking.
No, but I mean, does that one not pick up?
It doesn't pick you up unless you're here with me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what else was in the chat? Ryan says, not sure what side I want to win. I want the Imperial side to win just because I'm on it, or I will be on it. When do the Primaris get issued Order 66 and eliminate the regular Space Marines death to the False Emperor?
Oh my god, that's amazing, yes.
That would be an awesome way to get rid of Space Marines. And they could say they didn't mean to, it just happened. It was part of the campaign. We shaped the Crusades. G Steeler 11, hi all, made it to the chat, but have to take wife needs kids to dinner soon. Okay. Well, thank you for joining, G Steeler, and hopefully you can catch back later. James Jones is his store's doing 1,500 points. Thordalum de Caladai says both. I wonder if that's in reference to which side do you want to win. Both sides will win overall. West side, Primaris will lose. There are hundreds of thousands of Black Templars waiting for that exact day. They did say that the Lion is going to come back on the next Crusade when it's as dark as it can possibly get, pretty much. So maybe the Imperium's going to take a massive battering and the Lion will turn up and sweep through everything afterwards.
I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe you want your side to lose because then they might actually bring out your Primarchs, push back Chaos.
Get some new models. Minty B says it reminds me of the Eye of Terror campaign thing they ran years ago. That campaign was amazing. It's probably one of the only campaigns that I actually took part of and enjoyed quite a lot. It's such a good campaign, but I think they retconned some of that as well, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that's the one, wasn't it? Where eventually, basically, Chaos was a terror or something, and then they were like, okay, it was just a dream.
Yeah, never happened. We promise. Tim Lawrence, hello everyone, can't stay live today. No problem, Tim. We've got a lot of people at least checking in. So thank you all for checking in and saying hello. Any new people to the chat as well, jump in and say hello. It's apparently going to last 6 weeks. It's a campaign. It's on the campaign website and it's going to be a different planet each week. Each week has different topics. Okay, there's going to be a lot. I mean, even some of these rules we could take and record for future campaigns that we might do. Yep. Rachel, you need to shake that Balthazar gold up. I just realised you're painting. Pass me the paint. That's it. Shut the lid, shut the lid.
Starts waving it everywhere with open.
She's painting with a Balthazar gold. I just realised why it looks so dark. It's because it's not gold at the minute. This is just the nasty stuff you get on top of the paint pot when it's not been shaken.
Yeah, it just a bit of a grim colour.
That's why I said shake your paint.
I did shake it.
Right, that's what it should look like.
Thank you.
Now the dog's joined us as well.
Oh.
Wonderful. It just gets better, this show.
Gift that keeps giving.
Yeah. I have some locks if you want any from Slippy Tiger. Don't know what that was in relation to. Sound is fine. Is Rachel coming back or was she clickbait? Rachel is here and she is still learning how to paint for the first time with no instructions. She's just getting on with it. Let's see what happens. Scott Beale says, hi all from the US. Welcome, Scott. 13th Company will save the day, yeah. Russ will probably jump back out the warp with his Wolfen and sweep through everything along with the Lion. Maybe the Lion and Russ will fist bump and go off into the distance, killing people. I know a lot of people hated the fact that Necrons and Blood Angels fist bumped practically and worked together.
Or maybe Russ and the Lion will come back and one will be Chaos. But which one?
Maybe, yeah, true. Yeah, they see Russ and his Wolfen jumping out the warp and go, yeah, we're here, we're safe, blah, blah, blah. They just start mowing through the Imperium. I turned while I was in the warp, I'm afraid. We've got our dislike as well. That must have been like for 30 seconds in or something. So thank you to our regular disliker. We've missed you. It's probably been a few shows.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I've been away for a while.
It is true, actually. You've not been on the show for a while and we've just got a dislike, so it's got to be. Stu Rat saying, is Khaleesi going to paint too? And Thordalim de Caladai says, paint the dog. The dog is not going to paint. She's molting at the minute, so there's just dog hair everywhere. I'm having to hoover like 4 times a day. She just wandered off, but yeah, she's doing her best. Russ will never turn, says Stalker. No. He probably wouldn't. He's too stubborn, isn't he? But maybe the Lion will turn. I think if one of them is going to turn, it will be the Lion. Khaleesi, you can't eat the rabbit. No. Did you let her out when you went down? No, she probably wanted to go out as well then. Okay. So, Conor, that sounds pretty interesting. I'm going to have to pick her out, right? Just leave her outside.
Oh.
She'll be fine, it's raining. Either that or you and Mike, you and Pink talk about something while I'm away. It's going to be almost a solo show. It's going to be between Pink and Mike, and I'm going to mute this, and I'm going to be back once I've taken the dog outside.
Okay.
Mike, you guys already been talking about bolt action recently. So I know this is something since I've been away you've been talking a fair bit about getting into.
Oh, well, me and Sam are going insane on it at the minute. I'm really hyped up for it.
You decided your side?
Say that again.
Have you decided what side you're going to be on?
I am going US. Sam is going Germans.
Of course he is.
I think you'd even said about that if you were going to get involved, you might go. Was it Japanese you were going to go?
I think that's what was left. I think that's what.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, that would be it, because I think Dave's gone for British, and Phil will do the Russians, I think. And then that left. I don't think Rachel was that fussed about. She wasn't really into doing bolt action. It was something that really appealed to her.
Yeah, I think I'm sort of more drawn towards a sort of 40k sci-fi style, but bolt action sounds like it's supposed for everyone I've talked to said that it's an incredible game. I don't know whether we've got many people on the chat who play it already. Anyone who's on the chat, do let us know what you think of the game and how it's sort of.
When we were on the Wednesday chat, there was quite a lot of people that were either had played it, painted models, or were quite up to date on their history. Because I think it became quite obvious to anyone that was watching on Wednesday's chat that Sam knows a little bit, but overall neither of us really know a lot at all. So I've now started. I was watching some documentaries and stuff yesterday, trying to get a bit more knowledge in there as to what I'm actually doing, because we're going to try and go as accurate as we can.
Yeah.
We want to try and get everything right. Obviously, it's not going to be 100% perfect, but as long as we can show that we're trying to get everything right, then that'll be a good thing. Because it's like you got the color schemes we've got to really go into. That was one of the things we wanted to make sure that we're doing right, is we're going for the right one there's a list of them from what I can remember. Is make sure we're going for the right sort of color scheme for the theatre. I think it's called theatre, if I got that right. Look at me, I'm learning. Making sure we're using the right tanks and things that they would have had in that theatre as well. So there's quite a lot into it. And me and Sam we did an unboxing the other day, which I think will be coming out sometime soon. I'm not 100% as to what it is the actual date that it'll be coming out. And where I'm looking at is there's a lot of detail on these models, but you get tons of transfers in there. So the thing will be then is making sure you're using the right transfers for the right tanks. I'm guessing it's based off the theatre as well. But then it's what model type you've got of that tank, because each of the tanks there's quite a few. So it's like for the Sherman, I think you've got the M4A3 and the M4A3E8. I'm reading that off a box just for anyone that's watching. I haven't managed to learn that. Not yet. Maybe in time I'll give it a go. But yeah, so you've got the two different. So just for the Sherman, you've got the two different options in the box for it.
I'm back.
But then it's making sure you've got all of the right weapons on it, so you're not putting any extra things on the models that aren't meant to be there. And so there's a lot to think about with it. So we're going to give it our best shot to make sure that we're doing everything the right way, doing it justice.
I'm going to drive Sam nuts with my Arctic Japanese Solar Explorer team. There's a lot of love for the Japanese in the chat, actually. People saying that what have we got up here? We've got some people shouting Banzai. Armor Freak saying that there's some crazy rocket artillery. That sounds pretty good. Enjoy pummeling Sam from across the table.
I think some of the Japanese's rules as well is quite good. I think it's like Sam was saying that they seem quite strong. If I can remember, this is see if I've actually taken anything in. Is that they can't. Oh, hang on. Like when they make charges and stuff, they either get to re-roll it or it doesn't matter the result, they'll make it anyway.
I think you can ignore some sort of pinning markers on them for it.
They get
because
both.
they're sort of fanatically charge at people, basically.
They've got fanatical stuff, so they basically ignore a lot of the morale issues. Like if they ignore going down below half strength and stuff. But also, if you want to run or charge something, you always count as rolling a double 1 for the order. So even if you've got loads of pinning markers on it, you would always charge. You're always guaranteed to get the order for that, which is just insane. Is that what we've been talking about then?
Bolt action, yeah.
Just going to quickly
we've got we've got a couple of people, Grace here and Armour Freak, talking about the Italians, but from what I could read on 1D4chan, which is my extent of knowledge about bolt action at the moment, they're quite a difficult army to learn from what I've heard. So perhaps one for once we've had a bit more practice at the game.
The Hopeless Brit says, hello from the lovely city of Norwich, UK. Loving your work, guys. Keep it up. Welcome, the Hopeless Brit. Stalker saying, loyal dog, man's best friend. She's loyal, but she's annoying.
She's talking about Rust.
Oh, I'm talking about Khaleesi.
No,
she wanted to go outside, and she stood outside and looked at me from outside. That was all she wanted to do. She wanted a treat. So I went to the effort of taking her downstairs, letting her out, and then she wanted to come immediately back in and get a treat for coming back in. So she's
just a dominance over you, Sam.
Yeah. Well, she wins. Thordalim de Caladai says Sam will play Germans. Slippy Tiger says slopping too much paint on, Rachel. Okay, so you need to put some water in it, Rach. That's what that palette's for. Are you putting some on there?
Yeah, silver seems to come out alright. The gold.
Right, okay. Well, it's your first model.
This is how you know.
First model, don't even worry about it. Just paint however you want, and then you'll get better, and we'll teach you how to do it properly another time as best we can.
I mean, let's be fair. This is pro painted according to eBay.
Oh yeah. Golden Demon level paint job.
Yep.
Well, people said they wanted to see Rachel paint for the first time, so it's happened. You know, we said it wasn't going to be anything exciting, but she's learning.
Well, Rachel had said for a long time though as well that she did want to give it a go, but it would be as and when she'd eventually get around to it.
Yeah, and she's now doing it, so I'm proud of her.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, guys.
Norwich GW is rather big, apparently. I'll have to go there one day. Stu Rat says Japanese mounted bayonets on their light machine guns. That's amazing. Sam got a history lesson. All I've had all week is history lessons. Did you say that we'd done some filming, Mike? Shall we talk about what we've done?
Yes. Yeah, I didn't go too much into it and that, but I'd said about we'd done some unboxes and stuff the other day, which will be coming out in the future, but didn't know as to when.
Okay. Well, I'll go through the chat in a moment, but quickly, me and Mike went and filmed a few videos just at the start of our series, which I think is called Our Journey in Bolt Action or Journey Through Bolt Action or something like that we've called it. It's the rubbish title, but that's what it is. And
I didn't realise we'd come up with a name for it. I remember when we were there, we were trying to think, what do we call it?
This was at 4 a.m. I needed a name for it, so I thought of one.
Oh, okay.
First video is us saying, sorry, we're going to get it all wrong. History-wise, we don't have a clue and we want to learn as much as possible, so it was more of a disclaimer on what we wanted to do. We've also got another video on the tanks that we've been sent from Steve at Rubicon, and that's a couple of videos because there's a lot. And we didn't even go over much in the videos. We just showed the kits and what you get inside the boxes, but we could have easily spent a lot of time individually on each tank. And there's a lot of information and background to go with each of these as well, so there's so much more stuff that we can go into once we've read it and understood it a little bit more. And then we did a video on the bolt action book itself, which again, we only went through as quickly as possible, and there was so much in there. And it's such a good system from what I can see so far. We need to play it and try it out. But that's it. We only did a few videos. Let's go through the chat a bit more. So, West Side, you should challenge Mel the Terrain Tutor. He has so many Chindits and an entire Burma board for bolt action. Potentially, if Mel would be up for that in the future, it's definitely something we could do once we've figured out how to do it properly, and not turn up and ruin all of his historical accuracy. Because we won't be doing it properly, at least. Well, we're going to do our best, aren't we, Mike? We've said we're going to do as much as we can.
I was sort of covering it when I was speaking to Pink and everyone about it earlier, that we're going to try as best as possible to get everything accurate for the theatre that we're going to do. Which is going to be difficult because there's a lot of information to try and take in. but we'll give it our best shot anyway.
Hmm.
Do you know what I'm really excited for?
What?
Conflict 47, Japanese. I'm expecting some Godzillas and
Imagine
everything awesome.
I said this to Mike when we did our unboxing video for the conflict stuff. I said the Japanese are the one I'm waiting on most patiently because I want them to have almost like samurai Gundam suits as well.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes, I'm going to get Tau.
They're going to get some interesting stuff.
It would be amazing. Anything with like katanas and stuff, it would be pretty good. How about the mighty Italians? So that's the Italians. Patrick saying, who of you goes to... So Patrick, before we go on to this, Patrick's making us, or made us practically, some felt inserts to go on our dice trays for when we're playing battle reports because the noise was a bit too loud and we had a few comments saying, could you do anything about it? And we said we'd do what we can. So the battle report that's going out this Sunday, which is between Mike and Rachel, I went through and I... thank you for subscribing, Light Stealer. I'm glad those alerts are still working. What was I saying? Yeah, I went through and took every single dice roll and had to cut before and after the dice roll itself and then delete the noise, delete the audio. So it took me ages to edit this battle report. But I've done it just to try and see if it helps people who are wearing earphones when watching the battle reports. Westside's off. Love you all, friends. See you all soon. Thank you for joining, Westside. Hope to see you again. But obviously having a felt tray is going to be easier because we just roll it on the tray. So Patrick has made us the WGO logo in colour on a felt background that we can just put into the bottom of the dice tray and use instead, which is just awesome.
They look amazing.
Yeah.
You were saying how much you're looking forward to these, weren't you? Just before the chat.
Yeah. Patrick posted it up on Facebook and I was like, oh my God, they're amazing. So he said, who of you goes to Nottingham to play AOS tournaments? We could do a WGO team. We could most certainly do a WGO team of Age of Sigmar. I've got my Iron Jaws, Rachel's got her Seraphon, Mike's got the Skaven, Pink's got his Khorne, and then any other viewers that want to bundle up as the WGO party, we could just turn up and storm Warhammer Worlds basically to play in the tournament. Cywox, thank you for subscribing as well.
If you want to win, just get Rachel on your team.
Yeah, I don't think we would play tournaments to win though. I mean, Rachel will for definite. I think I'm going to turn up to just to play. I've got the army, I've got the list. I can just turn up and roll some dice and have a bit of fun. I think my serious games. Say again, Pink.
I won that wooden spoon, that last place. At least you come away with something.
Do they still give those out?
I think so.
We're going to have to fight for last place then. I'm going to take a proper subpar list.
But that's what everyone should come along and we'll try and outperform each other at being bad.
Yeah. The Italians did have some very nice warships they didn't use. Stalker saying this is the most I've heard from Mike. Heard Mike talk. He loves bolt action. # solo magic Mike.
It depends. If I get into my groove, I can talk for a while.
Get into the groove.
Yeah, gotta get into the groove.
Duffman6582, thank you for subscribing. Cywox saying hi, I'm from Poland. Welcome from Poland. Well, welcome from the UK to Poland. Okay, saying looks base coated. Right, I'm going to go. Is the base coat grey or is it just the default plastic? Looks base coated. That is a black primer with a white sprayed over the top of it, just so that she can see what she's painting. Japs get spearmen soldiers in BA. That's cool. Ralph loves the game. Japan had some very nice light to medium tanks. Unfortunately, they never did any really heavy armour, so nothing like a Tiger or a Pershing. I love the tanks in bolt action. It's my favourite bit. And there's just so many of them.
There's a lot.
Japanese 6 flamethrower tank. That sounds cool.
Oh my God, yes.
If you really want to have fun playing Conflict 47 and bring everyone in on an every man for himself. So yeah, every man for himself games, we can easily do that. The German buzzsaw rule, that's the one I think that gives you an extra attack with every light or medium machine gun.
Yeah, you get more shots, don't you?
Yeah, I like that. Brush control is pretty solid for a first time, says Kablams, Rachel. So
yeah.
She says thank you if you didn't hear that. I really don't think anyone will be able to hear you, Rachel. That's the only downside with this setup. We'll have to look at it for future. You are doing good though. You're doing a good... I mean, I'm pretty impressed. My first job looked like I'd thrown it at the wall and then dipped some paint on it afterwards. Mini Warm saying, "Hurry up, Rachel. Let's finish it up now. Hope you are doing well." Yeah, just let you get on with it. You're having fun. STG says a lot of chat about which guns are better. Kibams is saying, "We sure Sam hasn't just grown his nails?" No. There's my hands. Sean, have you guys thought about contacting Warlord, maybe arranging some bolt action demo games at Warlord HQ? Sure, they would be more than willing. They probably would. We've got one contact. He hasn't got back to us recently. I don't know if he's just really busy at the moment, but he sorted us out the Conflict 47 starter boxes. So we just need to get in contact again and arrange to go down. And I think I said to Mike that I'd just go down with him and Phil whenever he's ready, whenever he's like back to being able to do stuff. And Pink, if you wanted to come along as well, we could all just go down to Warlord Games and at least just have a look around the shop. Nottingham. It's round the corner from Games Workshop.
Wow, everything comes from Nottingham.
Yes. Yes, it is. Not bad brush control for a righty, says the Orc Boys. Sam, what did you drink today? You seem to be speaking a lot faster than usually. I've had minimal sleep again, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just slow down. I'm trying to get through the quick fire round, Ralph.
Hang on. How much longer did you stay up last night?
I think it was up till 5 or 6, was it, Rach?
Why?
I was editing. It never stops.
I even said to you, you should go off earlier tonight and you get some sleep.
I know. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you told me. Yeah, that wasn't a bad idea. Yeah, it's a good idea. And then you stay up anyway.
It was, but the problem is, like, I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there and they do a really good job, and a lot of viewers don't. I mean, a load of them do understand how much work goes into it, but a lot of people don't necessarily understand how much work goes into it. And because I'm not a professional, I don't know what I'm doing with most of this stuff. I'm having to learn it all as I go along, and I'm trying to keep up the content on top of what we've promised, or not promised, but try and keep it on top of what I want to set myself and get into the routine of doing it. And the more I do it, the faster I'll get, and I'll be able to fit it in a bit easier with the rest of a life. But at the minute, it's just quite difficult. And when Phil's when Phil's able to put some more time in as well, he'll have his airbrush tutorials and things like that, which will half the amount of time that I should be filming and editing. So hopefully it will speed up. But yeah, I think I've got insomnia as well. I can't really sleep until 6 in the morning, and then I go to sleep for a couple of hours and then wake up and take Rachel to work and then paint for the rest of the day.
You need to get an editor, Sam.
An editor. I would love an editor. If anybody is an editor and wants to just edit things, it would be amazing. I was thinking we needed some. We need a new track for the channel, like a iconic, badass audio track. Thank you, Eugene Plushnikov. Nice name. Thank you for subscribing. We need a really cool audio track that's a little bit more unique and set for us. So if anybody knows any musicians or anybody who can create something that would be unique and fantastic, contact me, please, because that would be awesome.
Something by Whitney
Houston. To replace what?
The starter one, because at the minute we're using free music that's available to everyone. So I wanted to get something that was a little bit more unique. I like the look of the M4 Sherman tank, says the Hopeless Brit. So there's so many really cool tanks, and I can't remember which ones are my favourite. Hold on. I don't want to do it. Oh, I'm going to do it again. Hold on. Let me just go on the website.
I know which one's your favourite. That's not a dig, neither.
Okay, one of my favourites. So overall tank, my favourite looking tank is the Sherman, just because of how dinky and cool it is, and the fact that you can have an army of them. Mm-hmm. But Mike's refused to let me do Americans. What wash are you washing it with? She's not. She's doing Balthasar Gold, Slippy Tiger. Oh no, Lead Belcher at the moment.
See, I thought, Sam, you'd like the really big, tough tanks.
I thought
like
the
Panzers would be right up your street.
They are nice, but I do really like. Hold on. Warlord Games.
Right, some of the tanks we were looking at the other day, they are big. They look big. I think they may be bigger tanks still. But we were looking at them like, it just looks like a monster.
Germany, all Germans.
Is this your Baneblade equivalent sort of thing?
Is it what?
It's not quite that big.
No. I meant compared to like a normal tank sort of thing. I take it there were a few historically accurate sort of monstrous tanks, a bit like there was Big Bertha was the big artillery.
Check this out. This, I think I pronounced it wrong last time, but this is one of the really cool tanks, the Jagdpanzer or Jagdpanzer. I don't know. This thing is it's such a long-looking tank, and it's just got a huge barrel that comes out the front of it. So that thing looks cool. There was one with a giant. So that's cool. The Brumbar heavy assault gun. That thing looks cool. Brumbars. But these are my favourites. These are easily my favourites. The KFZ-164 or the Marder. They all look very similar. They've got these huge artillery back parts to them. But this one in particular, because it's got this giant brace on it.
Did you find the tank where the turret needed to be on some sort of stand?
That's it. That's the one I'm on. It's called the Nashorn Tank Destroyer. Right, okay. So that thing, I need at least 2 of those. That looks amazing. But the tank destroyers are great. What's happening?
How big are these models? What's the scale?
28mm. 156, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Just a note. Oh, hold on. What's going on? So, hi. Furious George. Hi all. Why does Rachel look like Cousin It today? Rachel, turn around. Just.
Weird.
That's brilliant. Johnny Rockstar, just a note to say I will fail to finish my Harlequins this month, so I will finish Death Guard instead. More excited about the army I'm planning for next month, the Iron Warriors. Don't worry about it, Johnny. I mean, this whole Wargammer Chronicles is next week it's ending, so I've got to try and finish 2 Dreadnoughts.
I thought we had the end of the month.
Is it next? Oh,
that's
maybe
next week. I think it might be the end of next week.
A little bit. You got a little bit extra.
Got just over a week, but I've got 2 Dreadnoughts, a Land Raider, 2 Assassins, and 3 Psychers to do, and that's to get the 2,000-point army done. I've done 1,000 points, but I'm going for the 2,000 points.
You mean Amy Rachel's 2,000 points?
It's Rachel's 2,000 points, yeah. But I'll try and do some Primaris in between, but I want to convert all of the Reavers up into the Black Dragon Tiger, what are they called? Dragon Claw units. So I've got a lot of converting that I want to do to those first. But
even if everyone isn't going to have their Chronicles finished on time, feel free still to keep posting up afterwards for as long as it takes you to finish it. That's what the Facebook group's there for, is just to share with everyone.
Yeah,
definitely.
And if you're not on the Facebook group, it's let me bring it up. Hold on. And you can see these awesome. This is the felt cutouts that Patrick did. So his WGO logo. Look at that, beautiful with the red dyed. And then with the black, it's going to be amazing. Look at that. So they're going to be in the bottom of our dice trays. Right, so it's the Wargamer Online community. Just type that in on Facebook and join the group, and we'll accept you, and you can join him. I'll have a quick look while we're here as well. Oh, I did say actually, Evo's last Wednesday, for some reason it didn't pop up when I searched WGO Chronicles. So I said that this week I would definitely put them on the screen. So good, they are the first. And he's done an amazing job on this. The solitaire model. He's done some freehand, really nice work on the gems and edge highlighting. But this freehand, these like cloud things. I think they're clouds. They look like clouds. So awesome. Again, I'll go through this. There's probably not loads to get through. There's James Jones Tyranids. I love the Carnifex, Mike. Carnifex is easily the best Tyranid model.
Yeah, it's up there. I think it might be my favourite as well, because I do quite like the warrior models as well.
No, it's got to be the Carnifex. Carnifex is the best. That's nice. I love yellow orcs as well. Yellow orc armour. Ulster Nation. This is Ulster Nation's progress. Rach, look at this. Just turn around. Look at that.
Oh my god.
He's done that in like the time I've edited 2 videos or something. It's just ridiculous.
That's insane. How many points is that?
I don't know. I'll have to ask him. I'll find out how many points it is. That's the felt stuff. Look, Patrick's done.
Oh, that's awesome.
Here, look at that.
That is super cool.
Kablam's another video on doing KR cases, fitting stuff in.
Do you like them as much as you do then?
Yeah. Oh yeah, so Elston did pop that up. I've just been so busy I haven't even seen the thing. This thing was amazing. So this is a I can't remember what type of Land Raider he said it was called, but look at this. He's converted it to have almost like statues in the middle of it.
That is cool.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is freehand.
Is that the Tyrannic War Land Raider?
Yeah, Tyrannic War Land Raider, that
Yeah.
was it. It's insane. Such a cool, look at that. Like marble statues on the side of a Land Raider. I mean, one shot and it's all going to get broken,
I know
but
what you're talking about. It looks incredible, doesn't it?
yeah, look at that, Rach.
Mhm.
That's converted, look. Plastic card all there, look. A rod. Little plastic card things on here. Because I wanted to do almost like a fresco on the side of my vehicles for the Black Dragons and have dragons on the side of that new repulsor. So I've got the High Elf dragon and I was going to press mold that to do a similar sort of thing, but mine won't be marble statues. It'll be a dragon basically on the side of it.
See, mine doesn't look quite as good as that.
What do you mean yours doesn't look?
Nearly.
Oh, you mean your model?
A paint.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, I mean, for your first model, Rach, you're doing being neat. Are you cleaning your brush? Because I noticed you when you went to go downstairs, you didn't clean the brush or shut the lid on the paint.
Say yes, Rage.
Yes.
Look at the face. This is the face of somebody who hasn't shut the paint lid.
I can't see the face. So.
I kind of wish I hadn't put as much paint on the head though.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Morton. So these are amazing. This is easily, if not my favourite Tau colour scheme, one of the favourite Tau colour schemes ever. So these are orange and black with a bit of white on them. Look at them. Hold on, I'm not even showing it on the screen. Look at them. They're
I
just
saw them. I think
fantastic.
they're pretty damn sweet. They definitely stick out, don't they? Very dynamic.
They're just an awesome colour scheme and a great paint job as well. Harry Painter is working on his Hunter's Guild miniature. Really nice job on that. What is the view on proxies for models?
Always okay.
Chris Elliott's. Anyway, so that's
Staplers and teacups, Rich.
What was that thing?
What was it you said before? As long as it's okay, staplers and teacups are fine.
As long as they're about the right
As long
size.
as you know what
You know, give or take
Yeah.
about 100%.
right. You need to get back to painting. If Sean at Blue Table Painting watched you painting, Rachel, even though it's your first paint job, you're actually slower than me, I think.
What's that?
But is
No,
she
I
as slow
didn't
as me
hear
at
it.
painting?
I was saying, crack on with painting. Look at him. You're doing an awesome job. You need to get some bone paint on there soon, don't you? Are you doing all the metallics first?
I'm not sure there's any particular logic to the way I'm doing it.
Okay, let me carry on with the chat then. So, Simony, has anyone seen Luke APS's 5-minute Space Marine painting vid? It's so cool. I think he's used pens. I haven't watched it yet, but I know he posted up saying that Games Workshop, his local Games Workshop, couldn't advertise it or share it around because it wasn't using GW products, basically. But yeah, it's a very quick way of painting models using the pens. I think you probably enjoy using them, Rach.
Wow.
You know, the Sharpie markers and stuff, you can get them and you can just paint, you can just draw onto the model.
That sounds amazing.
That's pretty cool.
So for like Space Marines, for the shoulder pads, you can just paint down the shoulder trim. Just a quick way of doing it. Panther will sort your Shermans out. Right, let's get down that. Oh no, it's just skipped again.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Sure, the WGO boy band can come up with a new jam. If we had a boy band, it would already be on. Every video would have a different theme tune, so I can assure you we don't have a boy band, but maybe there will be one day. The Hopeless
maybe
Brit
we
from... What, Pink?
Maybe we should.
Yes. Hopeless Brit is saying, from what I can recall, the M4 was just a mass-produced pressure cooker, often outclassed by Panthers. Still a nice tank to look at, though. I'm amazed, actually. You know what? The biggest thing I'm most amazed at with this whole bolt action stuff is how much I'm liking the look of tanks. In the past, I've never been bothered by that sort of stuff. Whereas now, I'm looking at them thinking, that's cool. That's cool. I want that tank. I want this tank.
This was bone light.
Yes. You can use that or Xandri Dust. I think Xandri Dust would probably look better, but I can't find it. So you're going to have to use that. Is Sam drinking from a Game of Thrones mug? Hashtag sponsored. I am. It's my House Stark mug.
I mean, Game of Thrones do need to be sponsored by Wargame Online.
Yes, I mean...
we will boost it for them.
They weren't going anywhere until I was holding the mug. House Stark for the win. Is it just me, or are you somewhat fuzzy, a little out of focus? We shouldn't be, so it could be the stream or the internet connection. It says it's going through fine, but I don't know. Technology isn't
Or just Sam's face.
My face is just naturally fuzzy.
Naturally fuzzy.
Sam, get some glasses and put them on the back of Rachel's head. I haven't got any glasses to hand, otherwise I would definitely do that. The pause says it all. So this is the Hopeless Brit. I have been teaching my girlfriend how to paint over the past couple of weeks. She has given many of my brushes an early death sentence. Now I always have to keep an eye on her. Simon, he says he's got Sharpies, very effective for larger models. And Armour Freak says tanks are love, tanks are life. You should pop a Lehman Russ tank on the table when you play bolt action. We've already said that I'm allowed to use sci-fi models in World War II just to let me win. I'm going to have my Contempt of Dreadnoughts turn up to wipe the fields. I used to like tanks till I got a model Sherman Firefly and the tracks were in 196 separate pieces. Yeah, I'd probably just put that back in the box and burn the box. Never go back to it. So what else have we been doing all week then? So, Pink, what have you been up to?
Just working, really. I'm trying to get my Chronicles done now as well. So I'm busily base painting my Fire Warriors as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully I'll have some more pictures to throw up later on. Mike's made quite a bit of progress by the sounds of it.
Not to look at, really. I've been trying to get as much done as I can on them. I'm still in the process of getting all the washes down, and the problem I've got is I'm pin washing all the blue, which is taking longer than I'd like to. But I think I've got one more unit left to do that on. Then it's throwing a couple of washes here and there on every model, and then it's all just straight onto the highlighting then, and then leaving bases and transfers as the last thing to do. Where they getting there?
You'll be done by the end, though, I think. You made enough progress to.
It's what I'm aiming for.
Cliff's just sent me.
It's always nice to have a fully painted army at the end of the day. So
yeah.
Look at this tank. It's a tiger, I think. Yeah, 1/6 scale King Tiger.
1/6 scale.
Yeah, it's like an RC. It's an RC tank. It's awesome. Look at that, Rach. I don't know, like.
The price of a small car.
What?
The price of a small car. I don't know. Pretty cool, isn't it?
How much is it?
I don't know how much it is. It looks cool. I like the camouflage on it.
I mean, you could ride that.
Rachel rides tanks, yes.
We can make a series.
No, Rachel.
Won't be a very long series until I end up in hospital, but.
So other than Chronicles this week, so I basically those bases that I did last Hobby Hangout, I posted up on the Facebook group saying basically the PVA or the sand didn't work, so it slid off the base. So all of the bases I did on the last Hangout were basically ruined. Basically ruined. There we go, there's a pun. So I've had to redo them all again, and I bought Gorilla Glue, PVA glue, and it is by far the best PVA glue I've ever used in my life. I put the sand on it and it almost welded immediately. I was saying to Mike last night, I could probably build a boat out of PVA glue from just get some trees, cut them down and PVA glue them together, and I'll be able to sail across the sea straight away. But yeah, that glue was amazing, and I bought some coastal sand off eBay, which has got tiny little pieces of shell in it, so it came out quite nice. And I just went outside while it was raining and sprayed them, which was not the greatest ideas, but I'm really rushed on time. And I used like a £2 can of spray, so we'll see how they come out tomorrow.
What you've just told people on chat is if they live near the sea, they can literally walk out, put the sand in bags, and sell it to you.
Yes, they could. Or they could just send it to me, and I could just fill another tub of it up. So the Orc Boy says £6,500, Rachel.
What?
For that tank. So you tell me off for buying. Well, you don't tell me off, but you go, "Wow, that was £50 for 10 models," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's good though." And you go, That is literally almost twice as much as our car costs, and that car was a huge investment for us. So I would expect Rachel to be riding that to work if we had one of those.
What a way to turn up to work.
Yeah. I would actually love a tank, like an actual little tank or an APC, just to get around him. Furious George says, I had an idea for a subscription tier gift. So this is for the Premium Plus on the website side of things. The WGO 2018 calendar, a shirtless Magic Mike painting on your wall. Pretty sure everyone would want that. What do you
I've
think?
already got that.
You mean we've already got that?
What?
So I did that. Did ruin the bases, redid the bases. The custodians are all finished now. The 20 guard are, so they're out the way, and I've just got to do the rest of it over the next few days. I'm going to intend to build some Primaris. I intend to build some Primaris Marines just to use the bits from Spellcrow. So I'll definitely get on that straight away. And then I want to start building the bolt action stuff and the tanks that Steve at Rubicon sent because they are awesome. I based my guys with sand I found in a builder's bag on the side of the road.
Fair enough.
That's from Slippy Tiger.
That's recycling.
That is recycling. But this is the thing. A lot of the products that you find hobby-wise, you will find in random places, or you will use them, like they might just be household products that you'll go, oh, that could be repurposed to use as a hobby product or something like that. You know, you could find anything, boxes and little tubs of things, or just repurposed stuff to use for the hobby, and they're generally cheaper as well. You know, when I was looking for basing products, and I said that you could get these little flowers. They're like leaves or flowers from Amazon, and they were like £2 from China. So somebody's probably getting done over on labour over in China. But they're for nails, so you put these little flowers on them, and they're perfect for basing materials. But if you were going to buy that from a hobby sort of store that had been purposed for the hobby, you'd pay something like £10 or £12 for that. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was on this Woodlands Miniatures or something along those lines, having looked for some stuff for bases, and I realised they're like a bag of sticks, literally sticks.
Yeah.
Be £6.
I mean, it's a good business idea. I mean, I bought some bark off eBay, and it had been marketed up as being a really professional, dried out, whatever bark, and I was like, okay.
Great bark.
Because I didn't want to just go out and get some normal bark because it'll have little bugs and mites and things like this in it, and I wanted to use it for miniatures. So I bought this bark, and it turned up, and I'm like, that's just been taken from outside and put in a bag. That's not been dried or anything. It's not been, you know, you think if you're going to be paying the extra for it, it's not been just shoveled from somebody's garden and put into a bag, but that is exactly what's happened. Kablam saying, now I've got the scene from Spaced where Simon Pegg rides the Robot Wars robot to the train station. Hopeless Brit. Imagine filling up your tank at the gas station, though. £500 a pop. I'd rather a car.
Oh.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. I'd love that with someone in their little Corsa with the big exhaust pipes, and then you pull up in the tank next to them.
The thing is, if you've got the money to buy a tank, you've got the money to refuel it, so... Scott Beale says, do you ever plan on coming to the US for Gen Con? Your mind would be blown at the size and number of people. We would. It's just the cost of getting to America. We looked at going to Valhalla this year because we've been invited to that, but we're still trying. But I think it's almost like £700-800 per person just for the flights alone. So it's expensive. But it would be awesome. I mean, it would be amazing if, I think we joked about it, just getting a private jet and getting all of us to go. You're getting Pink and Mike and Dave, Rach, Steve, even Liam. We'll bring Liam. All of us, and just go in a private jet over to America, turn up at a convention and have a look around and have loads of fun. I'd love it. I've never been to America, and it would be really cool to go. So
Yeah, I mean, if you want to see anything on an amazingly large scale, America's probably the place to go, isn't it?
Yeah, and the food looks amazing. I think I'd come back 10 stone heavier, but it'd be worth it. What if it broke down? You wouldn't be able to call the RAC. And the boy says, no, you call the REAM. I imagine that's some sort of military.
You call the RAF.
Call the RAF. Jordan Penning. Hey Sam, loving the new channel. Been telling people about it at GW Chiswick. Chiswick? Is it Chiswick or Chiswick?
Chiswick.
Chiswick. Okay. Thank you very much, Jordan. We appreciate it. The more the merrier. And we're getting more and more people every week that are saying hello and giving us nice comments and enjoying our content. So we appreciate everybody who's watching it. These are very chilled out sessions. These are not very professional at all. Because obviously there's no editing, it's live. Stuff goes wrong every single time. Like me not turning the right microphone on and having echo and interruptions, but that's what these hobby hangouts are all about. It's car crash TV at its best.
Yeah. It's about having a chat with everyone, isn't it? And seeing what everyone's been up to and stuff, which is good.
It's rather than us just sitting on hangouts, we basically put that on the internet. That's all it is. I'm off into the REME in November. Right, I'm going to Google this because again, I might be stupid. I am stupid.
Engineer,
Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. There we go. Learned something. Slippy Tiger, thank you for subscribing, my friend. There we go. Orc Boys, Royal Mechanical and Electrical Engineers. You probably said that before.
Nice.
You probably said that as soon as I said it, but obviously there's a little bit of a delay between the chat and what is actually coming through. Rachel, what are you getting? How are you getting on? Doing the black boots, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So you've only got the skin left to do, and then you're washing it. And the trousers.
Is Rachel going to be highlighting as well?
No.
Oh.
Furious George can't tell if Sam's beard is growing or if he just got some flock stuck to his face. Why would anybody buy ginger flock? This is definitely
It's autumn leaves.
This is my sympathy ginger beard because in it over there in the corner. I love that nickname now.
That's not going to go, is it?
What do you mean it's not going to go?
That's going to catch on.
Because in it. Underdog Paintings join us. Welcome.
You know what we should do? We should actually stick some glasses on the back of my head and then take a photo.
There you go, thumbnail for later.
It's because of it. Alright, let's have a quick look on ye old Games Workshop Warhammer community page because I'm sure there's some stuff that's happened since the last update.
Well, we've had all of the chapter tactics out, haven't we? I don't know if you want to. Have you had a thought, Sam, about which ones you want to use for your Black Dragons?
Yeah. I hope the Sprit's
I mean,
saying no
everyone's
soul.
selling the Salamanders ones are pretty mental, so you'd be happy with those.
I wouldn't do. The problem is, I mean, there was an article that came out from GW saying that the Salamanders one suited the Phoenix Hawks or the Fire Lords or something better because of the amount of flame weapons, and it said because the Salamanders have got their own stratagem which buffs flamer weapons. So obviously there's going to be specific chapter stratagems which are going to be coming out as well. So I'm going to have to wait for that first because I'm not doing flamers in my Black Dragons army. They're not known for really running around with flamers.
You don't have to use that stratagem in fairness as well.
You don't, but if there is a chapter which has got a very fluffy stratagem as well as a chapter tactic, then I'll take that. At the minute...
It's like from the Wednesday one, we were thinking, what was it, White Scars and the Raven Guard were the ones you were looking at?
Yeah, it's Black Templars, White Scars or Raven Guard. I think it's going to be one of those three. However, White Scars obviously is generally bikes, so unless there were White Scar successors out there that didn't use bikes, it won't make sense because I'm not using any bikes in my army at all. But I think that's going to make more sense than doing salamanders. But the Raven Guard, obviously the Black Dragons are a bit more, looks wise, they're a bit more pale and they've got longer hair and they're a bit twisted. And I could
They're not
imagine
very
them sneaking.
sneaky, are they?
They're not as sneaky as Raven Guard, but I think they would be more sneaky than other Chaptons.
Perhaps your Black Templars are your best bet.
I think it's
but then you couldn't use a librarian then.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to do, Black Templars, and I decided to do Black Dragons so I could use librarians. That was the whole decision in the first place. So I think it's going to be White Scars at the moment. Yeah, it's probably White Scars I'll use, but we'll see. So that was one thing that they announced. Then they've got Schools for the School Throne, so a digital festival of discounts. Let me click on this and see what this is. Is Rachel drinking brush water? You haven't drank the wrong mug, have you, Rach? No. And Slippy Tiger says Evo's actually made it tonight. We've looked at your models earlier, Evo, sorry. Slippy Tiger says, if Rachel is now cousin it, will she be playing a vampire army? No, the next army for Rachel will probably be High Elves, won't it? So she's got the Seraphon and she'll be doing the High Elves. That paint's not sticking to that surface. It's because I stuck some green stuff on there earlier and it probably didn't dry fully. And I primed it in the rain.
He's taken proper good care and attention on your model, Rach.
I thought it was quite a lot of effort for me to go to the point of putting green stuff in between the gaps so it didn't just fall apart. Cousin It, Magic Mike and Gingerbeard sounds like a weird superhero team. Gingerbeard. Can't wait to see other armies like guard regiments and such. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what all the other armies and factions actually get. Furious George says drinking brush water makes you a better painting. It's like drinking the blood of your enemies to absorb that power. The Hopeless Brit, Sam's commission painting, 2 hour heads going cheap. I was only thinking the other day that I could do commission painting, but it's time more than anything. If I between trying to do a business where it's running a channel and creating tutorials that go out to a wider range, and doing what I'm doing right now, I think between the two, I'd rather do what I'm doing currently. But I think in the future, I could potentially do commissions as well if I had more time. But it does ruin the hobby for me a little bit. I don't like painting other people's stuff because I don't feel as much like I love it.
So he's painting Rachel's.
So I'm painting Rachel, and that's just highlighted it. Like I'm painting Rachel's custodians, and it's all right, but I'm not enjoying it like I would be if I painted my own. The Orc Boy says, I am a brush licker. Pink, you are the definition of a brush licker, aren't you?
Right now. I'm licking my brush right now. But it's all right. The new paints don't taste as poisonous as the old ones.
Taste as poisonous.
The old washes, oh my God.
when you sit next to Pink, when he's painting and he talks to you, he's got a lip which is like multicoloured. All the way down his lip, it's all different colours, and it looks like he's bleeding paint. But it isn't, it's just because he uses his mouth as a palette. Steve Rat, wasn't I primed it in the rain, a single by garbage, probably. And Slippy Tiger says, Wargamers assemble. Right, what is this Schools for the School Throne all about? Let's turn this on so people can actually read, if they want to read, if they can read that. Might be zoomed in enough. Want to get your hands on some discounted Warhammer games on Steam. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Have they discounted Dawn of War 3 yet?
I think so. It says, it recently came to our attention that there was some space to add skulls in many of our popular games on Steam. Thanks to the hard work of many fine tech adepts, the skullosity of these games has increased by 44% thanks to the following handy bit of code. This sounds like Rory's written it.
It does, doesn't it? I like skullosity.
This is definitely like a Rory written thing. And the code is...
I like that they do poke fun at themselves these days.
It's brilliant.
I like that.
It's actually genius. So the upside of this, firstly,
Someone's going to do it.
is saying you can lead your undead armies in Total War Warhammer with Krell, Master of Undeath. Vampires are great, but insist on keeping their skulls inside their faces. Krell has no such reservations or indeed any face, so it is the perfect general for your army. Whoever's writing this is a genius. Secondly, the Chaplain Dreadnought is coming to Dawn of War 3. Quite frankly, death should be an encouragement to show your skull more, not less. The Chaplain Dreadnought combines skulls with a furious temper and a durable mechanised body. He's one of the most Warhammer things ever, and you can use him to smash your opponents in Dawn of War 3. Then we've got a beautiful picture of the Emperor on his throne, looking more radiant as the days go by. And on Twitch, you can catch a weekend of Games Workshop themed gaming. Join in on the Skulls for the Skull Throne community page, or just watch the Skulltastic action. That's cool. There are also free skulls on offer, with an exclusive set of wallpapers and other digital materials accessible to all once we hit 1.5 million views on our Twitch streams. Awesome. So that is that. What else was on their community page? How far would you go to save mankind? That's an interesting title. Tactical toolbox for summoning. New pre-orders from Forgeworld.
Be right back.
What have we got? Sinister Skimmers.
So you got a bit for Sisters of Silence and what was the other thing that's come out at the moment?
Oh, the decals, the transfers for Blood Angels.
Oh, yeah.
You must be happy.
I've not used decals at the moment. Like I said, I need to have a session or watch your videos even on how to do all of that. Last time I tried it, the decal just got wrapped around the tweezers, and I thought, stuff that.
I have done a video on this, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I need to buy all the stuff as well.
I've got the stuff.
Picture your top supporter.
You could just borrow the stuff, Ping. You can watch the video. You can watch the instructional video I've made and borrow my products, and you can just do them.
Can I go the Rachel step and just have you do it for me?
No. I might do one day. Iron Hill Dwarves with crossbows. They look cool. The Iron Hill Dwarves are awesome.
Did you ever play the Lord of the Rings one?
I played the original one, and that was it. It was good. The original Lord of the Rings game was amazing. After that, they changed it to War of the Ring. War of the Ring changed the game, and I didn't like it, but that was it, really. What's going on in the chat? A little lead never killed anyone. Oh, wait. Maybe single commissions, heroes and characters. Yeah, I think in terms of commissions, that would be what I would end up doing. It would be single characters. And
I've come up with an idea for you, Sam. You could do commission basing rather than commission painting. So someone wants an army but doesn't want to bother doing any bases.
I could do the whole army's worth of bases.
Yeah.
So long as they're all grey with Summer Curse Earth, then that's fine. I'll patch paint those out for eternity. The new Vallejo game colour smells like jelly beans. There you go, Pink, you need that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't want something that's too tasty or might get...
Otherwise you won't use it as paint. You'll just ingest it.
A bit for my model, bit for me. Bit for my model, bit for me.
Johnny Rockstar says, you do know that some of the old GW paints were made using China using sewage water, right?
No. That has got to be an urban myth.
You're going to have to Google it now, aren't you? Slippy Tiger.
Yeah, because the internet never lies.
It does taste like sewage water, though, doesn't it? You can't lie.
I wouldn't know, Sam.
Scott Beale, commission painting can take the joy out of painting. The less people pay, the pickier they get. It drives you crazy. But that's the other thing. I mean, in terms of the time spent painting, we've all seen how long it actually takes for me to paint. I'd have to speed that up. But I would want to take an actual, a livable price. My time spent painting would have to be paid. At the minute, the channel is almost 24/7, and in terms of money coming back to me, all of it has gone into the channel. So at the moment, there's no monetary gain from doing the channel, but it's a lot of fun. It's so much better than doing a normal job, and in time, it should be doable for the future. But I think commission painting, you end up selling yourself short even more. I think you end up doing £2, £3 an hour, if not less, once you've added in the amount of time it actually takes to assemble and build, paint everything up and get it sent out and pay for all your materials. So,
well, just think this is the first step for getting Rachel to be your own, very own commission painter.
If this is how she's done her first model, I wouldn't be surprised if she's painting her own armies in no time, because that is looking really neat, Rachel. For your the first time you've ever picked up a brush and painted, that is insane.
Give her over to Phil to teach you with the airbrush.
It is a really good paint job, Rach, for a first job. I mean, you've not even put washes and highlights on it yet. You're just putting base coats on, but you're being really neat with it. And you're not doing what I did and just grumbled all the way through it. Probably because you're on the camera.
Have you still got any of your really old miniatures, Sam? I think we should do that on WGO. I think everyone should find like the very first miniatures they painted.
You're lucky if I've got any models from a month ago.
Oh yeah, you sell all yours, don't you?
I throw, sell, or give away my models.
Yeah, I've given away my very first one.
I'm sure I've got mine somewhere.
Okay, we'll have a look at Pink's first model.
It's going to be atrocious.
Kiblams is saying I found that certain Vallejo paints through the airbrush smell utterly yummy, so that might be the jelly bean ones. Hopeless Brit says I don't mind painting my friends' models, but random people I would never go for. I've painted friends' models before, and generally it's for free. I'll just paint stuff for free. The only one I charged was for my mate Luke, who wanted Korax done, and that was done to a higher standard than I would normally bother to do, and it was all magnetised, and I spent a bit of time on that, so I charged him for that. Sam, did you notice... Go on, Pink.
I should say the best way to get you to paint a model for someone is encourage you to collect the army for a bit, knowing that you'll probably give up in about a month. Then you can just buy the army off you. Sorted.
Yes, that is a good tactic, Pink. Thank you for telling people this. So Thordilum de Caladai says, did you notice that Warhammer TV is looking for a presenter for the Warhammer TV team? I did notice. However, I would stop all of what I'm working on here, and we've been live for 6 months. I've been working on it for over a year, and I would like to keep doing this, even though that there would be a guaranteed salary from Games Workshop if I even got a job there. I know they had multiple jobs. They had an editing job, which I was tempted to do, just to sit in Games Workshop and edit all day long. That would be quite cool to apply for. However, I want to keep doing this, and I'm enjoying this, and it's nice working at home and structuring everything around what I want to do and what Phil wants to do, rather than what somebody else wants to do. So maybe in the future, but I would rather do what I'm doing right now. And Rachel's supporting me with that as well, aren't you, anyway? So she's being very nice and not making me go and get a proper job. I did retail for 10 years and it just killed all motivation for working. Commission bagging up garden bark and selling on eBay for £10 a pop. Yeah, good idea. Armour Freak says, I would buy your bases. I'm lazy when it comes to basing. Evo says, what would your policy be for commissions? Personally, I think someone else's models deserve more care and time than your own, but that may be because of bad experience. That's the problem. I would, or I have done when I painted stuff for people, I would spend more attention than what I do for my own stuff. So it takes longer, and that's what I mean. If I was going to spend the time doing that, you'd have to be paid back for that time. Otherwise, it's not worth doing it. You're better off just going and getting a normal job somewhere and not having to worry about the random income and self-employment and worrying about paying your tax and things like that.
You'd need to be committed to stay to a time, wouldn't you?
You'd have to be able to set aside so many hours, have so many customers. You'd have to be able to, have reliable work. Every week, that you've got so many people that would be wanting stuff done so that you can keep on top of it. And you would have a calendar. You'd have to plan everything out and have slots for stuff, because you wouldn't also want to take on too many jobs and then not be able to finish them in a time. So you might have a month. You are?
Like being a tradesman.
Yeah, you'd have to have a turnaround time which you can stick to. And it might be a month, it might be 2 weeks, it might be 2 months, but you'd have to say from the beginning, this will roughly take me this much time. This is what you want, this is what I can do, this is how much I want from you, and I'd probably charge the higher price. And then you can also make it cheaper later on as well. So if you say this will be the most it will cost, and then knock it down if it's any cheaper than that, that's going to be good for them as well. and just make sure that all of the goalposts and everything is set out initially, so there's no hidden costs or any hidden obstacles or barriers that might pop up halfway through the job, and then you've got to keep doing that and be consistent with it. So again, it's a different type of work, but something that could do. Very impressed, says Kiblams, and so does Akaya. They're both impressed with you, Rachel.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Minty, keep doing what you're passionate about. You will be surprised at how things align themselves around positive people. That's nice, Minty. Scott Beale, Cousin It's Painting Corner. New section on the channel. She'll be doing commission painting next week, so great first paint job. # Team Rachel.
Hey.
Johnny Rockstar says, I painted my first models 40 years ago, so I don't have them now. It's fair enough. That's a long time to be painting, Johnny. But your models look awesome, so you can see why. Matthew
That's
Lawless
incredible.
says, retail sucks the life and soul out of you. I'm right with you, Sam. It does, and the reason it sucks the life out of you is you get paid. For most retail work, it's a very minimal job until you get up to the management, and it's even at management, the amount of hours you put in isn't worth the money most of the time, at least in my experience. But the worst part is the way people treat you. Just customers. It's like they've just scraped you off your shoe or something. And you can be as nice as you want. You can do everything to help people and please them and do things in their favour. And even at that point, they look like you've just slapped them across the face. It's like,
No, see, it's not every customer, but you do get one every now and then where it's like.
in Games
I
Workshop,
can't
I had
deal with this.
no issues. Games Workshop was a brilliant place to work in retail, so I've got no bad thing to say about Games Workshop retail at all. Apart from it's difficult because you work as a one-man manager most of the time, so you end up having a lot of work. But my previous work, and it wasn't even anything to do with the company I was at, it was, they did what they were supposed to do as an employer. It was the customers that you got that just treated you like rubbish. It's like,
You've got to work with everyone, haven't you? So you're going to get that person who you'd rather not see occasionally.
yeah. But, treat people with respect. Treat people how you expect to be treated yourself. That's one thing that I've always kind of stuck by. And if you speak to people politely and nicely, then you expect that back. If you speak to people like you've just been, slapped around the face, then expect to be spoken that way back. But, that's annoying. So Akari is saying Warhammer TV presenter, the hobby content video producer, promotional video producer, they're the jobs. Yeah, I think from the last year I've learned how to do quite a bit. So I'm kind of
the German community manager.
See, I can't do that one. But I've picked up some. The problem is I've got no qualifications. So even if I was to go for something like that, I've got no qualifications in editing. I've had to learn everything. I'm not a presenter, as you can quite clearly see, but I've learned how to do certain things.
Just put qualified by experience, you'll be fine.
Hopeless Brit says, do you have a long-term plan for the channel, or do you just play things by ear? We've got plans set out. We know what we want to do. We know where we want to go. We know where we need to invest, and we've got a lot of ideas of where we want to go in terms of tweaking our content, the plans for that sort of thing as well. We obviously don't want to say it all because we'll do it when we get around to it. We need to do a channel update as well. We'll do a channel update for YouTube, and we'll do a channel update for the premium members on the website as well. So we've got those to do. We haven't done one for a while, and we were going to do one a couple of weeks ago, but Phil obviously has been in hospital and he's still not recovered. So we'll be waiting until he's fully recovered and able to actually do some videos and sit down and chat. But yeah, we've got a lot of plans, we've got a lot of ideas, and we just need to keep doing what we're doing and enjoy what we're doing. We don't want to rush anything. We don't want to start doing things that we don't enjoy, because obviously there's a lot of stuff like board games that we could start doing, different game systems we could start doing, and they're all available, and we could obviously put them into our schedule to do stuff and paint things, but we're not going to do anything that we don't enjoy doing. So we're going to stick to that. Slippy Tiger, can I speak to the manager? But I am the manager. Yeah, that line. Yeah. What would you like me to do? Let me click my fingers and get the CEO of the company down so they can tell you exactly the same thing. Matthew Lawless, if you stayed at Holiday Inn Express, then you're qualified, mate. Akoya on the job experience. On the job experience. I can't even read. On the job experience is a valuable skill set.
Can't put that down as a skill then, can you?
My skills are reading. No. On the job experience is a valuable skill set. Don't sell yourself short. But plus, this is enjoyable. I can just turn on the computer, jump on YouTube, and chat to people. There's no commerciality around it, is there? So if I was working at Games Workshop, it would be a lot more structured. It would be following more.
How are you meeting your objectives?
Yeah, you've got to meet objectives. You've got to show that you're doing stuff correctly and things. And I just don't think it would be as fun as what I'm doing right now. So maybe in the future, but for now, the channel WGO, Wargamer Online, is life right now. And we've got World War II coming up, which is so exciting. I was only reading the books. So Will, who's a local history buff, he knows literally everything. If you say anything to him, he'll tell you the answer. He'll explain it to you. He's got this big stack of books. We posted it up on the Facebook group, and he's left them at the studio for us. And me and Mike walked through to start doing the unboxings on these tanks, and we just saw this big pile of books. Like, wow, there's a lot to get through.
Massive pile of books.
So I've taken 2 books home with me, and Mike's taken 3 books, I think, and we've just started going through
Yeah,
them.
I've got 2 or 3, I think.
Even with the books, it's not very straightforward. Because I'm looking at this Panzer divisions. There's something like 130 different Panzer divisions for the tanks.
Wow.
And I was trying to work out, I mean, it goes into detail for about 13 of them, where they were, which theatres they fought in, and that sort of stuff. But even then, I'm trying to find, I basically want something that's very straightforward. This is the tank colour, this is the campaign that took place, or this is the theatre, and this is all of the tanks that were available. I kind of need it summarised. So I'm going to have to keep researching, and hopefully the stuff that Osprey sends might have some more information that we can write down. I think you and me, Mike, are going to have spreadsheets of information.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a bit.
We're going to need to write stuff down and cross-reference.
Yeah, there's going to be so much we put into this to try and get everything as best as accurate as we can.
Yes, but like I said, it's enjoyable, it's exciting, we've got cool tanks. I am...
Yeah, because it's not even just a case of we're going to get to play with toy soldiers and tanks and paint. We're actually going to learn important information as well at the same time.
I want to put little sandbags on all of my tanks as well and have infantry sitting on the back of it. It's going to be exciting times. Mr. Craggham Gaming, welcome Craig. Or McCragham, as Rachel and Phil like to call him. Not seen, so, what's that? Furious George, trying to decide between Tau or Necrons for my new army. Which army is more fun to play? I play Greenskins and I'm not in it for winning. I'd rather play a fun game. So,
I don't understand that one.
Rachel doesn't understand the concept, Furious George. Personally, I think there's a lot more scope with Tau, but that's just my opinion. If you want one that's more fun to play, Necrons have got more variability. You can do shooting and combat. Tau, you've got shooting. I mean, Pink, you're probably more qualified to talk about Tau. Do you want to explain a little bit about what they're like?
I think it more just depends what style of play you like. So I think the Necrons are very much more legions marching forward with large monoliths behind them, sort of advancing slowly. Whereas if you're more about mobility and dancing about the board a bit, I mean, obviously that's more going down Eldar route, but the Tau have got a lot of maneuverability with their suits and deep striking in units and stuff like that. So I'd always go with whatever aesthetic you like best, to be honest, because you're going to have to spend an awful lot of time assembling, painting, and buying these. And until all the codexes come out, you don't really know entirely how each army's even going to play.
Yeah. The reason I didn't like the Necrons was they just don't seem to have any personality. And I know that's what they're supposed to be. Yeah. They're dull, lifeless Necrons, robots moving forwards. It's only the characters that have got any sort of personality. And they just felt a little bit too much like chess pieces. Whereas Tau,
I can understand.
You can have a lowly Tau fire warrior who's gone up through the ranks and is fighting for the greater good, or an ethereal who's been working. You can have some more story behind them and character on the Tau.
You can relate a bit more, can't you?
And you can have them in battlesuits. You could have a battlesuit pilot or whatever who's had history that you can go into. If you've got a Necron that's done good sometime, it's like, wow, yeah, all right, whatever. Fantasy Painter number 15. Thank you for subscribing. Let's go through some of these. Right, Sean Jewett saying, little present on the Facebook page. Let me see what this is. Sean Jewett. That's probably another photo. It's a Photoshop.
That's amazing.
We need an album for this, Sean.
We do.
We need all of these Photoshops put together. That's wonderful. Liam Badley. What's Liam? Oh, wow, Liam. Liam, that is a very good conversion. So simple yet amazing. Have you seen that, Mike?
Not yet.
He's done a Blood Raven Ancient.
Oh wow, that looks awesome.
With a raven on his hand. It's called the Raven Master. That's one of the greatest things I've seen you do, Liam. And I know it's just an arm up in the air with a raven, but it's genius. You've done a cracking job
The
there.
hand looks like it's properly posed as well, doesn't it?
It looks like it's designed to hold the raven. Rachel, is that your impressed face, or is that your...
Yeah, I'm impressed. Looks good.
Looks good. I saw these the other day. They're nice.
Honestly, a Photoshop the next second where the raven's just been splattered by a bolt shell.
Yeah. They're really cool. What was I doing? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have got a quick question.
Yep.
What's that thing in his hand?
I don't know. It's probably a bit, Rachel, because this was made out of... It's the handle for a gun, I think, or a shield.
He's just holding a handle.
It's holding a handle.
What are you looking at?
Yeah, I'll put that under the thing for Pink to see. Just paint it in silver.
It's the thing in his hand, look.
It's the thing in his hand. Is that? It looks like it could be a light. Paint it as a torch, like an it's got a torch on the bottom of it, like he's just looking forwards.
Should I put like glowing?
Yeah. First paint job. Start with glowing effect.
Objective source lighting. Object source lighting.
Armour Freak saying late war will be hard. A lot of German divisions at the time were cobbled together with what they had available or captured. So we're definitely doing mid-war then. Playing
You like a bit of
if
a
you want
challenge,
fun. No. Orc Boy saying a lot of German armour was painted in the field, Sam, so your options are open to a point. That's good. Germans had spaced armour as well. What's spaced armour? Does that mean... I don't know what that means.
Not aliens.
Germans had sci-fi armour as well. It's like, ooh, now we're talking. I can get my Land Raider out and put a German on the back of it. We march from a Kragan. So this is from Graham Rigg. Ask 5 historians the same question and you will receive 6 different answers. Okay. That's good to know then.
Was it histories written by the victor?
Plans. Would love to apply to GW2. Only one issue. I have less charisma than a puddle of vomit. But you have the words of a wordsmith. You should just write articles, Kablams. I don't think you've got any lack of charisma. Anyway, a Hopeless Brit. Necrons are rather dull in my opinion. They just remind me of the Terminator. Yeah, that's why I don't like them. Tau get Vespids and Kroot though. That's a very good point, Nick. They are awesome. Tau is probably the closest army to how our modern military work play style. That's a good tip from Karanis. Sean Blake, hey, welcome Sean. Dishwater Necrons. Treat Necrons like Tomb Kings in space and they work better. Yeah, that's true. Space Egyptians. Maybe they just need to be painted gold with pharaohs leading them. Liam Badley just says, with my strong hand. Upside down US Vietnam torch, Rachel. That's what the Orc Boy says it is. That's what you...
It's a what?
It's not, but that's when you... It's a US Vietnam torch. She says that's useful, thank you. And Ryan Benfield says it's a pipe. spaced armor is just extra armor with a space between it and the original to trigger the explosive penetrating effects too soon. Ooh. History lesson. Thank you, Johnny. And Kablams is saying, oh, thanks, Sam. I have no illusions, though. Okay. What have we been on for? We're coming up to an hour and a half. Just over an hour and a half. Don't think there's much else on there to talk about. I've been through Facebook. I'm back on Warlord Games again. I'll tell you what I'm going to look at. I'm going to look at Rubicon.
I'll say, Sam, give us an idea then. What sort of size army are you looking at to play bolt action then?
So for 1,000 points, I think it's generally going to be about 3 squads of men, which are 10 men in a squad. And each one of those has an NCO, which is a non-commissioned officer, leading them. On top of that, I think we'll probably have 1 heavy tank each. We'll have probably 2 to 3 transports. We can do up to 1 transport for each of the squads. But I think we'll realistically just put a couple of them in. You need a command, which can be anything from, I think, 1 to however many models. I think the general command unit size is about 3. So it's the lieutenant or a commander of some sort with his staff. And then you can include different types of staff. So you can have a forward observer. I don't know if the medic goes in the command, or you can put them in infantry squads. I'm not sure.
Got you.
So you'd need a command squad. So 1 command squad, 3 infantry squads, 1 heavy tank, and then and the transports. And after that, just fill in it with any sort of support weapons or artillery that I think we're going to use. I'm definitely going to have a sniper, because I'm going to watch Enemy at the Gates again, one of my favourite films ever, and I'm going to put a German sniper in my army. And then after that, you can put like flamethrower teams or whatever.
Sounds pretty awesome. It's pretty big then. Pretty big for 1,000 points.
There's a lot of infantry, but you've got to remember that the models are smaller than what we're used to anyway. They're like true scale 28mm, so they're not as daunting as doing 30 Space Marines. It'll effectively be like doing 20
Space
KDs.
Marines and generally are getting more towards the sort of 32mm now, aren't they? I'm painting my town now, realising how much quicker this is than painting Space Marines.
Mm-hmm.
They're just idiot.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be as much of an issue, so I'm really looking forward to it. I think the tanks will switch out. So one game I might use a Tiger, the next game I might use a Panzer. Patrick was saying that the Panther's amazing, and I really want to get a Panther as well. And also that tank destroyer that I posted up earlier. I'm just looking at Rubicons. This is all I do now. Just go on the internet and look at tanks.
Well, the other thing might be as well is with them, if we do follow any of the campaign rules and stuff, it may set out what we have to take in that list anyway.
Later on, yeah. I don't think we're going to start with campaigns, but
I mean, we can always tweak stuff, can't we? But yeah, I think that's a good way of at least sort of giving you an idea of what you should be taking. And
Oh, Mike, I found one of those. They are rocket launchers. On one of so the unboxing that me and Mike did yesterday, I don't know when it's going to be going out. I didn't know what these things were, and I said they were rocket launchers or missile launchers, and I didn't think they were.
Is this the where it was all on the one side of the tank? 2
sides. You've got three either side. They are rocket launchers. That's a rocket frame.
Okay.
Holy moly, that thing's cool.
It's a tank with rocket launchers all over it.
It's got
That's
6
cool.
rocket launchers, yeah. So I've got a Stug.
Oh,
I've got 2 of these Aus Ds that they look cool, but I like the ones with the guns on the back of them. Tiger, I've got 1 Tiger. The Panther is the one I don't have. Looks like there's different versions of those. And there's a Panzer as well. I've got one of those. So this is the Panther. Why won't you let me click on it? Panther's nice as well. Don't think they've got tank destroyers. Or at least I can't find them on this website. Where are the tank destroyers? Oh, what is that? Oh, Mike.
What?
There's like one of the half-track transports with a huge gun on the back of it.
Okay.
It says fitted with a high-velocity Pack 40. That is what I need on my transports. That's like a artillery gun. Holy
I like that
moly.
you're taking the York approach to tanks. More Dapper is always better.
Yeah. The Jag Panzer is a tank destroyer, yeah. Where is the Jag Panzer on the Rubicon site, though? Where are you? Jagdpanzer. There we go. That's the one I do like. But there was a second one, the one with the that holds the gun up because it's so awesome. I can't remember what it was called now. Yeah, I definitely need that. And where is the second tank destroyer? I don't think they do my favourite tank.
How did you find out about it?
It was on Warlord Games. I'll have to speak to Steve and see if they do them. Never mind. Oh yeah, chat. The Marder, that was it. The Marder or the Marder 2. That's my favourite looking tank from Germans. Nashorn, that was it. I don't know if they're the same. They're very similar, the Nashorn and the Marder. The Nashorn was my favourite because that's got the stand thing that holds the turret up. Look for the Hanomag with the 20mm flak gun on it. We could be there all night looking at stuff. Sam, can you pinpoint the exact moment you became a huge nerd? Yes, I think it was when I was born. They said, kill it with fire. And my parents said, no, it's all right. It'll be okay. And that was it. But being a nerd is just... It's not that bad. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot better. All right, what have we got in the chat? Coyote joined. Welcome, Coyote. Stu Rat says clearly it's a handle for flying a kite, Rachel.
He's leaning back as well.
He is, yeah. See, that's it, Rachel. He's holding a kite. He just lost his kite, and that's why he's looking up. British say
It's
lieutenant. None of this French bull. Is that instead of lieutenant? So lieutenant. I think it's spelt lieutenant, isn't it? Or is it still pronounced the same way?
It's just pronounced differently.
Oh, okay. Lieutenant it is then. Or is that tenement? Is it left tenement or less tenant?
I've never heard lieutenant in my life.
Okay, lieutenant then. It's spelt left tenement. That's why I was just checking before I get someone else wrong. A flak 88 or a pack 43. That's what you need. I think that was the pack that I saw. That thing was awesome. Are you starting with the bolt action starter sets or just buying everything separately? I've contacted one of the guys at Warlord just to see what's best to do and go forward. But at the minute, we've got tanks from Rubicon. We've got some infantry from the conflict starter sets, which is just the generic grenadiers that I've got, the German grenadiers. And Mike doesn't have anything, so we've got to get some infantry for him. And we both need all of the snipers and support units and the command. So we've got all of that to... That's why I'm thinking we just go to Warlord and see what they've got and just grab it off the shelves and get it all in one go and start playing, basically. Are they half tracks? Yes, they would be. Oh no, they're Hanomags. They're little four-wheeled scout armoured cars. That sounds cool. Akaya says he will just use his forge-wheeled Legion Falchion super heavy tank for bolt action. Nick, that's the... Okay, well, there's a lot of tank. There's a lot of people who like Warlord or, World War II stuff. I didn't realise it was so popular. We're going to get a lot of help then, Mike. We are not alone.
Which is good. Because we need all the help we can get.
I know, it means you need to know your stuff now.
No, we don't. We just ask people what the stuff is. They tell us. The best way. Ask for advice. Scott Bill says it's a Johnson wrench for when he needs to hit the head rage. Okay, so we've talked about tanks. We've talked about some GW stuff. Is it next week that something's coming out?
Your
21st.
Codex.
Yes, my Codex. Oh my god. Oh my god. Right, okay. So Custodians are going to get finished this week, and Primaris are going to start next week. That's my goal. In between, I'm going to build some World War II stuff, and if I don't, I'll at least be reading up on what I need to build. So that is my plan for next week. What's your plan, Mike?
By the end of next week, hopefully, have the Ultramarines done. Hopefully.
Okay, good stuff. Pink?
I have the towel done.
Okay, so we've all got plans.
Catch up,
Rachel's plan is to maybe finish. Have you got a name for him, Rach?
Not yet, no. I'm really upset about the head.
Why?
Well, everything else looks okay, but that's got too much paint on.
I'm not stripping it. It's not worth it.
Once you've done washes and things like that, it won't look so bad.
It'll be fine. So next week I've got the Redemptor, the Reaver 10-man squad, the Aggressors, the cards, the Codex. All of that is coming out. So that's going to be awesome. I'm going to have to go to the studio and film some unboxings on all of that.
And probably the week after you'll get the Repulsor.
Yes, and I'll have to get at least one of those. I probably need 2 repulsors for the amount. I think I'm on 60.
Well,
70.
there's 2 variants, isn't there? There's the transport one, and then there's the more guns one.
Teaser trailer for the Sunday battle report. See, the problem with this is last time I did a teaser on the website, YouTube didn't promote the battle report as soon as it came out. And I know I took it down afterwards because there was too many people grumbling over stuff. But initially, it didn't promote it. So I'm wondering if I do it that way, it actually hinders the YouTube channel. So my thinking behind it is just to launch it for this Sunday on YouTube and see how it goes again. But what I would have ideally liked to have done is put it up on the website first, so that if you go on the website and you've got an account, you have access to the battle report, say, tonight. Whereas if you haven't, you've got to wait till Sunday. And then obviously there'll be the premium videos separately. Oh, tonight, it should have gone up actually. There should be a video about painting Phil, the film ogre model. I've done a scheduled post and I need to make sure it's worked because Phil normally handles all website stuff. So I need to try and see if that's worked. But that should be up at the moment as a premium video. Really nice model to paint actually.
Everyone should have their own Phil.
Yes. Rachel should use this mini she has painted to learn other techniques now. Dry brushing, highlighting, washes, etc. Yes, you will be doing, I think, won't you, Rach? Well, you're doing all the base coats now, then you'll do the washing, then you'll do highlighting, which could be layers or dry brushing, and then... Or both. And then you'll probably do little effects, so we could give him some glowy eyes and the OSL on the torch or something like that. There was a teaser that there was more undisclosed units mentioned on the GW community site. Okay, so there's definitely the Repulsor. Hopefully there's more.
You get your Aggressors. And then you're going to get the Interceptors or Inceptors?
The
with your plasma
Inceptors, yeah. I'm not buying them, I don't think, because I'm going to convert them from Hellblasters and the Inceptors that I've already got, because I think I've got 12 Inceptors. So I'll do six of them with the bolters and 6 of them with the plasmas. And I've got probably 15 Hellblasters. So they've got 1 gun each, and I'll just do big oversized plasmas on them.
Yep.
Mr. Kragan, where are the dragons? Next week I'm going to start them. If I don't do one model in between the custodians this week. I need to go and pick up. We need to go to Phil's tomorrow, Rach, because I need to pick up the rest of I need to pick up a librarian and the snipers, the Orc Custodian army. So I'll go and pick them up tomorrow, hopefully. Rachel, the miniature should be called Uncle Fester. That's from Akaya. Mortarian should be out by the end of the month. Okay. Right, we'll call it for this evening. Thank you, everybody who has joined us on this live show again. It's absolutely awesome that so many of you join us, and we appreciate you all chatting to us on a Friday evening. Tomorrow, there's going to be a bloopers video up on the YouTube page. That's already been scheduled, and that will be at 6:30, I believe, in the evening. Quite a good one. It's all of our errors and stuff that doesn't make it into videos again. There's not loads. I think it's about a 6-minute bit video, but it's basically Rachel telling me to shut up like normal. And me and Mike bickering like children. So that's Saturday.
And having a little bromance.
We always have bromance, though.
Oh, yeah.
Rachel is just jealous. Sunday is the battle report.
I think Mike loves you more than I do.
Mike does love me more than you do. Battle report on Sunday is actually quite a good one. It's only 1 hour and 16 minutes, and it was 3 hours, so I edited it fairly well. I've put a few little things in there. I've got pop-ups that show you some of the rules here and there. I even created some. I went on Motion and I made an animation for things popping up on the mini-map and stuff. It's not great, but it's my first try. So that's Sunday. And then as of that, there's loads of stuff coming out. So we'll see you all on the next Hangout. It probably will be Wednesday now, the next live show. Tuesday live shows. We're going to do it again next Tuesday at 9 o'clock. So we'll see you then. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Mike, Pink and Rachel for joining.
Oh, of course. Thank you, guys. Cheers.
And we'll see you on next Tuesday. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.